Hello class, hello professor, my name is Bianca Ramirez and today I'll be presenting about the Community Needs Assessment for the City of Phoenix. The logic model that I decided to base my community assessment on is the MAPIT logic model, which stands for Mobilize, Assess, Plan, Implement, and Track. And there's 5 steps incorporated in the MAPIT logic model, which includes the first one, mobilize, second, assess, third, plan, 4, implement, 5, track. So the reason why I chose the MAPIT logic model is because I believe this logic model focuses more specifically on a community and versus focusing like at the county or state level. Since I'll be focusing on the city level, this logic model would be best fit my community that I'm assessing. And also what I like about the MAPIT program logic model is that it focuses on real life health problems versus already pre-existing matters. So the city of Phoenix, a few facts about Phoenix. So Phoenix is the capital of Arizona. It's the metropolitan area named Valley of the Sun. It has a very diverse population, and the median age in Phoenix is 32.9. Some socio-demographics for the community is that this city is mostly composed of whites, the white population of 46.3%, followed by 40.6% of Hispanics, then 6.4% of African Americans, 3.3% Asian, 1.8% Native American, and 2.0% other. So the city of Phoenix, most people, 23.2%, are actually living in poverty. And the population that is mostly living in poverty is Hispanics with 35.2%. And most of the people who actually are living in poverty have less than a high school level education. And there is a lot of homelessness in Phoenix between the ages of 31 to 50, being 38.3% of the population of ages 31 to 50 are homeless. I personally always observe this in certain areas. A lot of times there's a very popular Circle K gas station in the corner of my apartment complex, and there I see many homelessness hanging around there and just waiting for the bus. Some more socioeconomic and demographics are as follows. In 2010 from the census, and on the right bottom that you can see this graph of the race ethnicity of Phoenix residents. So I just wrote down the each population so you can see the graph there of how Phoenix is compiled. So there's some socioeconomic indicators include poverty rates, unemployment rates, lack of health insurance in the population, and education. There are a lot of high poverty rates among children, Hispanics, African American residents, non-citizens, those not completing high school, and also households that are headed by unmarried women. So if you look at figure 29 on the left corner, you can see the Phoenix poverty rates by race, and the second is Phoenix poverty rates by education. So you see that most people with less than a high school degree are living in poverty versus compared to the 5.6% of people who have a bachelor's degree and living in poverty. And the population who is the most living living in poverty is Hispanics, followed by the Native American population. Oh, oops. So the priority health problems that in the city of Phoenix are obesity, cardiovascular diseases, and cancer. As you can see, these three graphs on the left side, it's the adults who are obese. So it says 29.8% are obese, which is higher than the US value of being 28.8%. And those with cardiovascular disease, it's 2.8%. And the good thing is it's less than the US value of 3%. And adults with cancer in Phoenix, it's 5.5%, and the US, it's 6.6%. And the fourth priority health problem is diabetes, with 9.8%, and the US value being 10.4%. But as you see, it has been increasing from 2014 to 2015. So the priority issue that I chose for my community assessment is diabetes among American Indians, because diabetes is very prevalent among American Indians. American Indians have the highest incident rates of 15.8%, and the prevalence among American Indians and Alaskan Natives are 9% higher than non-Hispanic whites. And diabetes is higher among American Indian men, ages 15 years of age or older, and the type of diabetes that's most common is diabetes mellitus. And then diabetes mellitus is just the higher presence of glucose in the blood. And below is a graph showing diabetes-related deaths among in the county by residents by race. So why American Indians, why do American Indians have really high incident rates for diabetes? Some of the risk factors is high obesity rates and lack of physical activity. So those are the two main ones according to the Arizona Diabetes Burden Report. Other risk factors include education, income, and access to healthcare. And then the table below, Table 7 of Diabetes Preventive Care Surveillance, was screenshotted from the Arizona Diabetes Burden Report, which shows that the risk factors for diabetes is obesity in the general population, leisure time, physical, and activity. So it definitely has been increasing. These rates have been increasing. So the overall results of the assessment is that diabetes does affect the American Indian population in Phoenix. The death rate due to diabetes is the highest among American Indians compared to other races. The top socioeconomic factors for American Indians having the highest rates of even mortality rates is education, poverty, and income. And here are the graphs once again to reflect that. So some limitations of assessment is that some of the data may not always reflect the American Indian population as a whole due to Indian reservations being independent. They're independent governmental entities, and then the most accurate databases is the best to attain from the Indian Health Service, IHS. And however, IHS only serves approximately 50% of the population. Therefore, the data will only reflect a portion of the population. So oftentimes the data may be biased. So those are some limitations of the community assessment. Another one is that that oftentimes American Indians they mark down that they're either mixed race or are biracial, which makes it harder to specifically focus on American Indians population as a whole. And here are my references. Thank you all for watching and listening to my presentation. I hope you learned a little bit of the health issues in Phoenix, Arizona. I know I did because I just moved here a year ago, so I didn't know quite much of other health issues other than the sexually transmitted infections that I work with because of my job. But with this project, I wanted to focus on other prevalent issues and learn about my new community and where I live. So thank you so much, and